We live. It's Iya Ashaya Rock Avatar coming live, right? Look where I'm at. Beautiful, huh? Hey, come on in, y'all. Come on in. We're gonna be talking about 5G, elves, the elves. All right, now we in the spaceship. Everybody, come on in. Make sure I got y'all blunts lit. Wrong order. Don't mind me. I'm just lit with my spaceship high, drinking coffee. So I want to talk to y'all about the 5G inception in ELF, extra low frequency waves, and elves, also known as elven or timekeepers and stuff like that. So let's go in. So the new 5G, right? There's this allegedly the chosen people supposed to lead the 5G. These are the synthetic humans. So in places such as Montauk, a lot of these underground bases, they release genetic experiments out into the world. So a few of them are your favorite YouTubers. A few of them are people who are becoming a name somewhere in the world. A lot of these people are synthetic humans. So what is a synthetic human? A synthetic human is somebody who has the synthetic rib-close nucleotides, RNA. They have synthetic RNA, and this is the whole Rh negative thing and stuff like that. People are saying, oh, I'm Rh negative, that makes me special. No, Rh negative means that you're recessive, meaning that you don't have humanoid genes. And what they're doing right now with these ELF waves, which are extra low frequency waves, are they're omitting certain frequencies. You hear ringing in your ringing in your ears. You hear the certain music frequencies are getting changed to certain tones. They have a frequency. You know, music is the only thing that can activate your right and left hemispheres of the brain at the same time, allowing you to unlock and open up your subconscious mind. So they're penetrating our subconscious minds. Think of energy like water, and that's the woo. The woo is it means water. All right. Look at the frequencies and the waves in the water. See? So now I can. This is the universe right here. This is what the new represents. It represents the celestial waters. Now look at all the waves in it. That's how frequency works. See, you got the ripples, the tides. I could take a rock, right? Take a rock, throw it in here. Look, I just caused a ripple in what? Time. Okay? So, which brings me to particular species. Now, a lot of people take my information, they go off and do whatever with it, you know, and stuff like that, but they don't never get the point about time. See, you have human time and you have the time of the other species. Time exists from realms 1 through 9. Okay? Realms 1 through 9 is expansion of time because you're going in what? A straight line. So anytime you go into a straight line, you create what? A point A and a point B, and in between is what? Space. So you cannot have space without time in those dimensions. So in those dimensions, certain beings dwell. Some people say elves. Elves are the Agigi, the watchers, the ones who used to sit in the skies and watch us who raped the daughters of man. And you have short elves and you have tall elves. Tall elves usually are bearded. They got pointy ears. You'll see them incarnated because they always have the beard, the Aldebaran beard. So these beings have the ability to time jump, because time, right, itself, in all this that is in this reality, is a part of a machine. It's a part of the matrix. It's a part of it. Look, the wind is going crazy out here. It's a part of that. So they're taking this 5G, right? We went to 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Those are the waves they're using to manipulate this reality. Reality itself, for those who do magic, know that reality itself moves much like water. It moves much like a wave. It moves much like the wind and the current. It's fluid. So if they're putting these waves along with these synthetic humans who project these frequencies with their heartbeats, you have robotic humans among you. Some of them call themselves Shri Masters. Some of them call themselves the Grand Master. You wonder why all these celebrities and stuff are starting to become gurus and stuff like that, is because they were implanted into society from the beginning. They were planted here to delay the message, to influence them, because they come from a different space and time where technology rules. Hopefully I'm not going too deep here and y'all missing it. They live in a time where technology rules, because they are seeded here from technological beings. Try to find my lighter. From technological beings. These beings, right? If you think of an elf is what? Synonymous with Santa. There you've got Santa, and right in the celestial hierarchies is all the Baron, or any constellation that has an "and" at the end. You can't even speak human language without pronouncing celestial things, because when we came here as Wanakum or Anunnaki, we taught humans human language. So how can the humans understand a language that came and is fragmented from the stars? The language you speak is not even your own. So when you think of elves, you think of these things that are tinkering, they're building machines, and it goes back to Terrence McKenna and a lot of these other people who take these high psychedelics, or LSD and stuff like that. Try to light this doobie. So y'all have to be aware that with new technology, it comes with a catch. Everything comes with a price. Everything has to be has a value to it, a frequency, a wavelength. See? So your information gets dropped in here by what? Archons, like I said previously before. It comes by what? The way of the sun, and to what? This reality. You are living multiple realities simultaneously at once. Okay? When you are in this waking state, you are in this body, right? You understand that you have to leave this body, right? When you go to sleep, you have to leave it. Where do you go? You don't just go into your realm, you know. You go through the different stages of consciousness, alpha, beta, theta state, and stuff like that. Those are different wavelengths. So when one was be able to control his own wavelength, control his own frequency, you feel me? Then we'll be able to get onto that. But let's go back to the elves. So the elven these are 7th to 11th dimensional beings. The 11th dimension is a dimension that is a plane of simply time. It's right before you get to the concept of time. It's right. The beings in the dimension legitimately control time. These are called your timekeepers, your record keepers. There is nothing that does not happen in this reality without them. And you've got bad and you got good. You got both sides of the polarity of these things. All right, I'm done with that. So let me go ahead and sit down real quick. So I just wanted to talk to y'all about that. About this. Did you guys know that they have a frequency out? The frequency of the music is starting to talk about third eyes and stuff, but the frequency, right, I think it's like 444 hertz or something like that, is manipulated because it is influencing our emotions. We wonder why we feel depressed. We wonder why, why we have these extra emotions, or we're bombarded by these frequencies waves. I suggest y'all get some black tourmaline to combat that. Orgone is to combat the 5G wave, because what 5G waves is, they're going to come out with the 5G children. And these are going to be the synthetic robotic humans who come to take your divine inheritance. Your divine inheritance is this earth. Your divine inheritance is this realm. You incarnated at this particular place in time, right? Particular place in time to do something great, and that is to inherit the earth back from those who took it from you. So let's talk about elves and dragons and stuff like that, because some of these things are so hard to perceive. But before this realm fell, before the earth became to such a dense vibration, things in other species and creatures were allowed to exist on the earth, because like I said, everything was in oneness. We had dragons on the earth. A lot of people talk about, oh yeah, the dragon species and this and this and this. Let's talk about Lumeria or Mulan, which is America. Let's talk about Atlantis. In Atlantis, right, we talked a little bit about it in before. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth talk about how there was his father, who was I, right, at the time, who was I, said that there are 10 kingdoms of the earth. There were 10 after everything fell, and those 10 kingdoms got invaded by some unknown species coming into this realm in a cube, something like a tesseract, something like a allspark. Okay, these beings came here and caused destruction upon the planet. They wiped away your memories. They took away your gold. They took away the things which made you knowledgeable of self. These timekeepers left their stamp here. These are cosmic vampires. They are known as the Aldebaran. These are high, tall elvins. Okay, they depict them in Asgard. They depict them in a lot of movies. They depict them in Thor. These are your timekeepers. These are your time jumpers. They jump through time, right? And they stole the records of your knowledge of self. They stole the records of your knowledge of self and left their imprint upon this reality. They left their imprint as the Anunnaki, who they were not. If you guys look at the Anunnaki, they try to depict them as what? Blonde hair, blue eyed. And this goes back into the book of Enoch. It goes into how Enoch, somebody messaged me talking about, and I don't respond. I don't like to debate, because I know what I know, and I don't want people to feel like shit when I start coming off the top of the head with some shit that you ain't never read. You can't look. You gonna have to go inside you and pull it out, or book a regression with me to pull this information out of you, because I'm containing the information and the knowledge that I have acquired for 144,000 lifetimes. So when people say, oh, Enoch was a black man and this and this and this and this and this, no. The Enoch that got turned into a machine, listen to the name, Metatron. Where do you think they get the Transformers from? Because in the 12th dimension, we exist outside of space, time, and all that. And technology rules in the 12th dimension, technology rules in the 11th dimension. So when y'all talking about Transformers and stuff like that, they look at the story of Transformers. They came here for a cube. They came here for a cube. They were aliens themselves who lived and breathed. That's where we're headed in the next however long, 100 or years or so, with the technology that we're going into. So when somebody says, oh, Enoch, no, Enoch was from the 7 stars in the Pleiadian star system. He was as white as snow. He was abducted and turned into a machine. So when y'all talk about these Pleiadians and stuff like that, you are talking about a species that came through a rip and portal in space and time through Saturn, altered time, and took your knowledge of self. That cube represents you. That cube represents your mind. That cube represents this reality. But they changed something. They took something like that and turned it into a trap. Hey, 9 minds, 9 minds. And they turned it into a trap. They trapped us in our own reality. And what really happened was how mankind, or man was really created, or humankind was really created, is because we had to split ourselves up. We had to split the atom, right? And this is why the first human's name is Adamu, right? Which deals with our ancestry, which deals with the blood. See? So y'all, and it's crazy because it's deep when you get into it, because you think about gang banging. That's tribalism. You think about how our culture has lost the knowledge of self, but still retains some essence of that knowledge. This is why I go hard. This is why I tell people to go find Ashtar Sharan, who is Ninurta, right? These beings went through a transconfiguration where they became robot due to what? Enlil, who was the lord of what? Illusions, the lord of technology. And when the technology that he had went rogue, then the spaceships and all the planets exploded on Maldek. And these beings began to have a recessive gene in their RNA factor that caused them to lose melanin, to lose self. Thus, they began to fight themselves. We had to split ourselves up from atoms to atoms. And it's crazy because when you go into gang culture, you hear, oh, what's up, blood? What's up, Damu? Damu, you were calling your fellow brother the first blood on earth. Not blood as in Suwoop gangbang. You're talking about the first drop of blood on earth. Adamu, who was Noah, who was Ningazerda, who was all these things. So when they talk about how did the gods fall? The gods never fell. We came down here for a mission to save you. We came down here on a mission to find self because of the technology that we had rebelling against us, because of the technology, in the same way that humankind is going now. We had to come here and bring you knowledge of self. Not everybody's going to have knowledge of self. Not everybody's going to understand the words and the riddles. But when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The teacher will appear. But you have these Pleiadian emissaries of light. Light is an illusion. You are in utter total darkness right now. When you close your eyes off from this illusion, you're in what? Darkness. And they want to talk about the dragon. Oh, and the divine feminine. The divine feminine is a dragon. What are you talking about? What are you people talking about when y'all talk about the divine feminine and the dragons have to take away from the divine feminine? What are you talking about when it says that Mother Who was a dragon? The earth itself is a dragon. It is a serpent. What are you guys talking about? It wasn't until the time jumpers or the Mardukites, okay? The real Marduk's name is Amaru. Amaru. The Mardukites. When you have a Marduk, a duke is what? A lord. Or Mars, right? Is the land that we came from when we left here. The first god. The first god. They call him Unikukulan in South African. Who brought the first dragon here. It says in ancient Sumerian or ancient Nubia, which Sumerian is ancient, part of ancient Nubia, it's a part of ancient Kish, right? They want to strip this knowledge away from you. They want to blow off your nose, and they want to come and blow off your head. This is why we're getting slaughtered from every part of the nation. If you have melanin, you are getting slaughtered, and people wonder why certain individuals come to me, and I say, go find Ash Talk. Go find your people. Because this over here is tribe shit. But as I was saying, they want to take that away from you. When they came and used their technology against nature. Now think about where humans are going. We have HARP, we have DARPA, we have all of this technological shit, and it's fucking up our planet. Because what? Man, not human, right? Who came from the dragon, who came from Mother Who was the earth. Because it says that Tiamat was cut open in part in her heart chakra. See, the whole entire universe is inside of a dragon. So how can one say the divine feminine and the dragon are not one and the same when the dragon heart was taken and crafted to create the earth? Tiamat's heart. We are on a part of Tiamat. Tiamat, you cannot spell Mayat without Tiamat. You cannot spell material without Mayat Re'al. So when people come in and they speak this bullshit and they talking about, oh, the divine feminine, no, you're speaking for yourself, because we are on the divine feminine. We are on earth. We came here to save our mother from you beings who wish to be the children of the 5G. To be the children of the next frequency to fuck up our universe. Get out of here. Everybody wants to talk about the divine feminine, but do you not know the divine feminine is totally utter darkness? It is the dragon within. It's the bottom of your pit. Exactly, the dragon queen of earth. All hail Tiamat, Tiamat Re'al, who sacrificed herself to become the earth. Before time was kidnapped by these beings, she sacrificed herself, because in my language, in the language of the serpent, in the language of the dragon, it is called, what is it called? It's called Rana Inku. Flesh eat of my flesh, blood of my bone. Meaning that when a being from Sirius came down onto the earth, yeah, I can feel my chi now, because every time I move, the earth move with me. Every time I move, the earth is going to move with me. So keep following my speech. Keep following my lingo. So when we came down to the earth, it's called Ranak Inaku. You will not be able to look this up. This is straight from Syrian dragon language. All right. When you speak tongues, you are unleashing your Kundalini energy. You are unleashing the oldest part of you, which is at the back of your head, the fourth eye. You are unleashing that. So when I say Ranak Inku, that means flesh of my flesh, blood of my bones. But people don't know history. People don't know the Dogon history is that the beings, the Nomos who came from Sirius, the king, what did he do? He killed himself and allowed the other people to eat him. This is your origin of the Bible, when Jesus, or the Christ, or the Koras, the chosen spirit, right, said, eat of my flesh and my bones. That's dragon talk. See, people try to talk about the dragon, but you can't understand the dragon. That's why the highest ranking Illuminati members worship us. They worship you. You are that dragon. You come from Mother Earth. You come from the Rana Inku. The reincarnation cycle. This is when the snake bites its own tail. It's called self-sacrifice. So when these beings talk about, oh, yeah, the reptilian, no, you scared of that reptile because you came here and stole from him. You stole from the earth. You took what was not yours. So yeah, when the oldest, most feared species on the earth rise up, when that Kundalini energy unleashes in that carbon, think about it, the Kundalini energy, when it comes, you start moving and swaying like a serpent. This is why you see in church, they be all, oh, this is why when you get possessed by a Loa, you start moving like a serpent, you start speaking that language, you start, Braka sharuku ruku ruku bala ine. It's called dragon's tongues. The dragon. The dragon. And then the dragon even goes further, because if you understand the evolution of a dinosaur, right, then you understand the evolution of your kundalini. As you raise your kundalini through the chambers, the 9 chambers of ether, right? When you raise your kundalini through the 9 chambers of ether, you first activate it through your root chakra. That's dragon's breath, right? Prana. You inhale oxygen. You exhale carbon monoxide. So which means is that your breath goes through several different chambers when it reaches the circulation and the meridians in your body, right? And you unleash your breath. You're unleashing carbon. The oldest species in the universe is known as a Sayakar. C-I-A-K-A-R. Sayakar. Okay?